Parents in Cheshire who allow their children to play video games intended for adults could be reported to police or social services. That was the warning in a letter sent out by the heads of 16 schools in Nantwich.
They say that the inappropriate content in games like Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty can leave children vulnerable to grooming or extreme violence, as Steve Saul reports.
Computer games have come a long way since the days of Space Invaders and Pac-Man. From the simple graphics in the 1980s to today's near real-life, almost movie-standard animation. And that's worrying head teachers, so much so that 16 here in Nantwich have written letters to parents. They're concerned about unacceptable levels of violence in games such as Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty. The letter states that children should only play games or join social media sites rated suitable for their age. Parents are warned they'll be reported to police and social services as it's neglectful.
I think the schools are under a bit of pressure now, aren't they, to ensure that they report anything that they think could cause concern.
If the school think there's a risk, then yeah, I would say they've got a duty to report.
We talk about the games and they have ages on the games to buy them, so never buy anything which should be for their age.
But will the letter make a difference?
A game by itself is not normally a good indicator of risk of harm to the child. The content clearly is not appropriate, but that in itself is not a risk indicator and would not require police or social services intervention.
What about the games manufacturers themselves?
A blood splat in a game in 1996 wouldn't have looked as remotely realistic as they do now. We have legislation in force in this country that requires us as video game regulators to check them thoroughly, to make sure that there's nothing in there that would constitute a substantial and realistic harm to the user.
Cheshire's council say instances will be reviewed on a case-by-case basis, and the schools have that option of reporting the matter. The letter is part of a number of initiatives educating the pupils and their parents in the digital era. Steve Saul, BBC North West Tonight, Nantwich.
22 dementia patients at a Lancashire care home face an uncertain future after their families were told that they had just 4 weeks to find them new accommodation.